gear knob. It's not an RS4. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Damo, and on today's video we're going to take a closer look at what S-line means on the Audi A4 B7. Before we get started on this video then, please take a moment, if you haven't done already, click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon, then you'll get notified whenever I upload another video. Cheers! Let's start off down here then. One of the things you get is 5-spoke, 18-inch design alloy wheels. Inside the car then, you also got a 3-spoke sports multifunction part perforated leather steering wheel. Also on the S-line, you got aluminium trim around the side windows. But to be fair, I haven't seen a B7 Audi A4 without them. Have you? Write in the comments, tell me. So you also got a concert radio with a single CD front loading slot, and it also came with MP3 file compatibility. Remember, this car dates from 2007, so MP3s back then were still reasonably new. Another thing you got were electronically adjustable door mirrors, which were also heated. Also with the S-line you get heated washer jets. Here's what they look like in action. Another thing you also got... Whoa. Can we just take a moment just to look at that video again of that rear wash wipe? Enough now, that's all kinds of wrong. On your A4 B7 S-line were electric windows in the back. Then you go down partially though. And to be honest, I've never seen an Audi A4 B7 without electric windows in the back. Write in the comments, tell me if you have. Another thing you get in S-line Audis is this nice aluminium fascia going around your dashboard and onto the doors. So I'm guessing the association with sleek silver aluminium with that of sportiness. You also get a leather gear knob and gear lever, gaiter, and also come down to the handbrake lever, it is also leather. Another thing you get, which you might not be expecting, is in here. You get a switch to turn the passenger airbag off. Quite common in Audis, you do it with the key, and obviously it's to stop the airbag going off on the passenger seat. But why might you need that if you've got kids or a baby seat in there? Why it comes on an S-line, I'm not sure. Again, I'll probably tell me if you've got an A4 B7 that doesn't have it. The days of needing to use this next one are long gone. However, we do have a seat in here. This is for the dog, not for the children. But what the children would have used or had a few years ago now is Isofix. Can you see that in there? A little clip. So if you do have small children, or you are thinking of having small children, can't recommend highly enough the convenience and handiness of having Isofix in the back. I do think it's hidden in there, a little clip. Most cars these days do come with it as pretty much standard. Well, it wouldn't be S-line without a badge. This one's on the front grille. You also get 2 more. Can you guess where they are? There you go. And down the side moldings. Another item you get then on the S-line is cloth interior. Now normally you would associate cloth with sort of lower end models, but on this B7 A4 it's really good quality stuff. Very hard wearing. Loads of life in it. Really easy to clean too. Highly recommend. The seats are super comfortable because you've got this electronic lumbar support. They're also sports seats as well, so you get all these nice side bolsters down here to keep you in, which is good because that leads on to the next thing you get with the S-line, and that is sports suspension. Probably one of the most things synonymous with the S-line. People get an S-line, think, oh yeah, I'm getting a sporty Audi, and to some extent you are, but bear in mind this, and I make no bones about it, is not an S4, it's not an RS4, it is an A4 S-line. You do get sports suspension, and people will think, oh, it rides really firm and it's a little bit hard. Well, I've driven quite a few cars now with sport suspension and good setups. And I have to say, on this S-Line, although it's firm, it's not by any stretch uncomfortable. You can go over speed bumps in this quite nicely. It doesn't kind of rattle your bones and chase your teeth out, so to speak. It's quite smooth and nice. But what it does mean is when you get the opportunity, if you're on back roads and country roads, etc., it does make it a little bit more drivable and engaging, a little bit more fun. And if you're in the market for an estate car, then you want something that's not just all about being an estate car, that just has a little bit of something extra as well. And you do get that in an S-Line, I think. It's a nice compromise. It's a really good sweet spot. A lot of people berate the S-Line and sort of associate it with sales reps cruising up and down the country and being in the third lane of the motorway, riding inches from people's backsides. And maybe that's true to some extent, but it's largely based on the fact that the cars are really good, and they are quite a lot of fun to drive, despite being rather what some might perceive as boring plain old Audi. I like it a lot. Okay, slightly odd place to go for this next one, but in the boot under here, we've got a little tray here, you also get a bit of plastic. No, wait, that's not true. You get a space saver spare. 60 psi. Do not use, temporary use only. Do not use, maximum speed 50 miles an hour. Don't go more than 50 miles an hour. God, I'd be terrified driving with that on. So one of the main things you get with the S-Line model is sports styling, and it's really, really subtle, and you've got to look very closely to find it. This is one element of it. Can you see here this spoiler on the Avant model? Now you get spoilers on the other A4 B7 models like the SE, but they're not quite as sticky out or pronounced as this one. Okay, down here then at the side of the car, it's a similar kind of story. You get this on other B7 A4s as well as the S-Line, but it's just a little bit more pronounced. You see this kind of flare out. I wouldn't go as far to say it's a body kit, part of the it's part of the sports styling, where it just kind of sticks out a little bit more and makes the whole car look a little bit more subtle. It's one of those things when you see an S-Line parked next to an SE car, it is so subtle, it's hard just to spot the differences straight away, but you do know that the differences are there, because an S-Line is, okay, it's not an S or an RS, but it's still a very attractive, good looking car, especially the B7 version. Okay, round at the front then, more super subtle styling hints. So you get, hard to spot, but this, I think it might be a little bit deeper, but it definitely sticks out a little bit more. If you look at an SE version of the B7, they sort of stop there and kind of curve in, whereas you've got a bit more of a sporty lip there. You've also got a nice grille there as well. Thanks for watching this pedal out video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already, and write in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Tell me whether you've got an S-Line or an S-Line SE, that's a whole other kettle of fish, or an S4 or even an RS4, whether you think the S-Line is really a bit rubbish. See you again next time. Cheers.